everyone. Can everyone hear me out there? Is this thing on? Okay. Hello and welcome everyone, and thank you for coming today. We are here to celebrate, as all of you know, a very special lady. Obviously that would be Kathy. I have a few housekeeping things that I'm going to start with. Please don't forget to sign the guest book. I know a lot of you kind of had to file in fairly quickly because Kathy touched so many lives. The music is still playing, so I'm just going to go and pause that. Anyways, please remember to sign the guest book because there actually won't be an open mic today. The family has requested that because we know you have so many amazing memories to share with Kathy that we would probably be here till 2025. They really want to enjoy those memories though, so if you'd please sign the guest book, they would be very appreciative of that. A few housekeeping things, please turn off your cell phones. Obviously, the bathrooms, I'm sure everyone is familiar where those are, but they are just right out those doors there to the right. And if you are a smoker, please rethink that, but if you do have to smoke, there is a little area just outside the doors there, closer to the arena. The family has also asked me to invite you all to stay after the celebration for some amazing food, sharing the memories of Kathy, and of course some fun and laughter. This is a celebration, so we want you to enjoy yourself. Of course, it's a sad day, but we all are here to celebrate an amazing person. Please, when you exit, and I'll remind everyone because I know no one's going to listen to everything that I say, please exit out those doors so that you can get fed and just file out and don't, rush to the food even though it looks really good. The last rule for my speaking today is sit back, relax, and let's celebrate Big Bird today. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Megan McRae. I am Donna Curvion Johnson's daughter and Norman McRae's daughter. Regrettably, I'm sure they feel that way sometimes, that they have me, but most times they're proud of me. I have given myself an honorary position of being a Peterson and Pitts family member now after being asked. I haven't asked if I can be a part of the family, but I've just placed myself in the group now because why not? They're a great family and I'm just so honored to be here and standing in front of you all today. I didn't really think it through. 500 people plus. I knew Kathy touched a lot of people, but yeah, it was pretty overwhelming walking up to the stage right now and trying to remember all the things that I want to say. So all I ask of you is that you bear with me today and maybe laugh at things that seem like they were supposed to be funny because sometimes they're not funny and I think that they are. I like that. Thanks, Gales. This morning when I was getting ready, I thought of Kathy, obviously. Today is about her, but I also thought about her because when I think of Kathy, I think of glam. She always was ready for the day. She got ready every single day. I don't think I've ever seen her not looking her best. And she always made a comment when I wasn't looking my best. I also made sure to put on, and sorry, I have been told by Grandma I'm allowed to say some inappropriate words, so please know out there that I have been given this permission. But I did make sure that I put on my hurlure, as Kathy would say. Again, those of you who don't know me, I have been one of Kayley's best friends, I don't think by choice, since she was born. Our parents worked together at the good old Arlington, and we've shared a lot of memories together. Kayley will refer to me often as the hotter twin, so if she ever says that, that's what she's talking about. Kathy, as you all know, was a very hard worker. She worked at many places in Port Alberni and probably served 99% of you in some form. She worked at the Beaufort Cafe, the Barclay Cafe, the Beaufort Lounge and Pub, the Somas Pub, the good old Arlie, Westwind in the Kingsway. Kathy was also a volunteer for U17, I don't know if that means youth, but U17, hockey, and an ambassador in the Grove. And of course, a longtime billet mom for the Bulldogs. She loved to travel when physically able. Some of the places that she was able to see were England, Vegas, and California. Lyle and Kathy, not mine, Lyle and Kathy, met at the good old Beaufort in '82. They were married in '86. And then next came the beautifully annoying, to me, Kayley in '91. And then next, of course, their pride and joy, Christy, arrived in '95. I don't have to stand up here and tell you how amazing Kathy was. I feel like it shows by how many people are here. And I know a lot of people are missing today, and so they wish that they could be here, and I just want to acknowledge that. One of our last visits for me and Kathy was at the Ty Watson house, and it was actually with my mom, Kayley, and Kathy. And it was just really cool to stand there, well, I guess not stand, sit there and listen to the old memories that my mom was sharing with Kathy, and they were just giggling like schoolgirls, talking about all the fun times that they had back at the early. I can only imagine. They were being very PG, so I can only imagine what the real stories were. One of the things that I always won't forget about Kathy is when I was a kid and I'd go over for pool days or visits or just to hang out with Kayley, she was always there. Kathy would always come hang out with us, she'd talk with us, she'd bug us, she'd tell us that we needed to find a man. It was always her big thing. You guys gotta find you a man, you gotta find you a man. And I was like, yes, Kathy. But another thing that always makes me think of Kathy is those, I can't remember what they're called, but where you buy stuff off the TV. Because every single time I go over, she'd be like, look what I got this. And oh, did you hear about the new cleaning product on this? And I would always be like, oh, Kathy. She's always got so much stuff, but always the best of the best. Again, though, one of our last visits, I told her, one of the last things I said to her is that I would take care of Kayley for her. And so I just want to acknowledge that today and let Kayley know that I'm always here for you. You're one of my best friends. And thank you for choosing me to stand up here today and speak about somebody so amazing. And obviously, Christy, you come as a package deal, so I'll be here for you too. One time, me, Kathy, Kayley, and Christy and Lyle all went to Vancouver, and we went to the Peony. And I had some weird obsession with corn dogs at the time, and I really, really wanted a corn dog. Kathy was like, okay, we'll get you a corn dog, like, relax. I was always like the fat kid, so it was like, corn dog's important to me, right? So I went and got this corn dog, and within, like 20 minutes, I was like, to the bathroom. Overshare, but it gets better. So we had to travel back that day, and I wasn't with my mom, of course, and I was still pretty young. And Kathy was just like nonstop taking care of me and just always such a good caretaker and making me not feel embarrassed that, you know, we had to stop in the Grove, we had to stop at the lake, we had to stop everywhere along the way. I think it probably took us like an extra couple hours to get home. But she never made me feel embarrassed or never made me feel uncomfortable or anything like that. Always made everyone around her feel comfortable. Again, I just want to thank the family for giving me the ability to stand up here today. I hope that they don't regret it by the end. They might, and that's okay. But I just want you all to have a good time and enjoy the people that want to speak of an amazing woman today. So first of all, I would like to invite one of Kathy's childhood friends. Her name is Brenda Little, and I was told that she's not so little, she's a lot. So please welcome the amazing Brenda Little to the stage.
Well, thank you so much for asking me to do this. It's such an honor to be part of this celebration for Kathy today. Kathy was My childhood friend, she was always tall for her age, and combined with her larger-than-life personality, she made her presence known wherever she went. She was called always just Kathy. We met when we were 4 years old. We lived at the the area known as the Old Army Camp in Port Alberni. I was the youngest of 5 children, and she was the oldest of 3. We spent our days roaming the neighborhood, hunting frogs in the pond, down the street, and trying to tag along with my older siblings and dodging her 2 younger ones. Sorry, Ronnie and Carolyn. Sorry for all the times we ditched you. When I was 5, Kathy's family moved to another part of town, and our family followed, buying a house 1 block away from theirs. We continued to be friends after my family moved to Sproul Lake and the year after to Prince George. Our mothers both have the same name, June, and we're friends, so they helped us keep in touch by writing letters. And I recently found this stack of letters and have loved revisiting our childhood and adolescent years through Kathy's detailed account. So I'm going to take you back from what Megan talked about to a much earlier period of time. The letters were always written in proper letter format. Dear Brenda, how are you? I am fine. How is school? Love from Kathy. And in our teen years, Kathy reminded me in her letters that I was still starting my letters that way and I could change them up a bit, in her not-so-subtle way. As mundane as those conversations seem now, I treasure them and the reminders of growing up together from our childhood through to our teens. The letters remind me of the plans we made throughout the years to spend summers together, usually me going to Port Alberni to visit with her family. I would tag along on fishing trips, hang out at their house, go to the cabin at Great Central Lake where we had a favorite spot called Rockada. We would take Kathy's transistor radio and belt out Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog and other hits we would hear on the CKLG Boss 30s Saturday morning countdown. Rereading the letters, I'm reminded of our adolescent crushes, comparing recent purchases of life-size David Cassidy posters, new albums, and teen magazines. Kathy had a diverse taste in music. She loved the Monkees, David Cassidy, the Osmonds, Engelbert Humperdinck, and Tom Jones, and many more. And she had an amazing ability to memorize these songs, and she could sing beautifully all the lyrics that I could only hope to take along with her. When I visited her this summer in the hospital, she slept for most of the visit, and when she woke up, I realized that we weren't going to have much of a conversation. I put on some Engelbert Humperdinck and Tom Jones on my phone, and immediately, lying flat on her bed, a smile came up on her face, and she started to sing every lyric in the song. And finally, she turned to me and she said, you know, we're going to get into trouble for this. Kathy had a great work ethic from an early age and learned to save her money from her allowance of babysitting. Her father taught her this. For important things like posters, albums, and magazines. She was meticulous about keeping track of the amount of money she spent. $9.20 from Simpson Sears catalog. Comparing what all things cost and noting what other people spent, like her piano teacher spent $1,100 on a new piano. She always quoted the exact amount of money, the specific details of the house renovation that went on for quite a while, and she clearly, I think, and the capacity of one of many boats that the Peterson family purchased. She clearly missed her calling as an accountant. Kathy loved eating and hanging out at the Dub, the A&W, and Larry's. Her social life centered around the people that worked there and all the regulars that hung out there as well. I was in awe of all of the people that Kathy knew and how she could fill a room with her presence. Kathy had a love of details, carefully observing the world around her, which is one of the things that made her such a great friend. She never did get her driver's license, but learned at an early age to use the bus service from Port Alberni to Nanaimo. She did not just travel the buses. She knew every bus driver's name, their life story, when they worked, and learned to find out all the gossip in town from the regulars and the bus drivers. Rereading her letters, I was struck by Kathy's beautiful handwriting, perfect spelling, and grammar, as coming from a teacher of 37 years. One letter, she apologized for not indenting the paragraphs because the card was too small and she wouldn't have enough room to say everything she wanted to say. And if you knew Kathy, she had as much to say in person as she did writing it in a letter. Her letters were full of the intense love and connection she had with her family, Bud, June, Ronnie, and Carolyn, and all her extended family. She talked about things like trips to the Vancouver Boat Show, where Bud had to be begged and dragged from the boat so that they could all get a hot dog because they were starving. How excited Kathy was to wear the beautiful velvet and lace dress her mom made for Aunt Margaret's wedding. And how Carolyn caught the first salmon in their new boat. Kathy caught a lingcod, but that didn't count. And how Carolyn cut out the fish eyes and put them in her mom's back pocket. And June was not impressed when she found those. Another letter, she told me how she noticed how good-looking Ron was getting and how smart he was, and how the family got a new dog, but it was really for Ron. Kathy was very excited about taking drama at school, which might have been driven by the school trips to Vancouver with the drama club, not really about acting. We can only imagine what a great actor she would have become. It is lovely that her niece is following her dream. One of the last letters I have from Kathy in her early 20s, she asked me to keep her letters and let her reread them one day to see if she changed. This fall, I got a chance to do that. As I reread the stack of 20 letters, I can reassure Kathy and all of you that she did not change. The connectedness to those she loved in her life, and how she reached out to everyone to find out who they were, and how to make them feel important, was a lifelong trait that never left her. Kathy's life changed forever when she met Lyle and became a mother to Kayley and Christine. She became a passionate and devoted mother and wife, and later a hockey mom to so many young men. It was her dream to be surrounded by so many men. As our lives became busier, our letters changed to phone calls to check in, drop-in visits on our way back from Nanaimo, and lunch visits around that wonderful pool. It gives me a huge amount of comfort rereading Kathy's letters and remembering her sense of humor, the joy she brought to everyone, and her huge love of life. Kathy's letters always ended with, "Love from your best friend, Kathy Peterson," like I didn't know her last name. And she was the best friend a person could ever ask for. And thank you, Kathy, for 62 years of loving you. Thank you.
Kathy would have already moved me off the stage after following that. I mean, that was amazing. So next we have a very special person, Kathy's sister, Carolyn. I always want to call her Caroline. I don't know, I've made her a new name, Caroline. But please welcome Carolyn.
Kathy's younger sister. And this is my brother, Ron Peterson, or as Kathy and I like to joke, the planned one. Born on a sunny day, and the only son. We'd like to thank each and every one of you for showing up to honor and remember the life of our sister Kathy. If you knew Kathy, you already know how magnetic she truly was. She got that from her mom and dad. Standing up here with only a few minutes to speak on how amazing she was and what she meant to us feels impossible. How can I describe in a way that's accurate? How can I sum up the impact she had on us and others in the world that she touched? I don't know, and it was really hard to sum up her life after 61 years. But the other day I was kind of in a tizzy, and I was going through my closet like a mad woman and getting rid of things that we're all doing these days, it seems, and I found a big bag of cards that I had saved over the years, and I came across a card from Kathy that was dated from 1979. At the time, Kathy had moved away to Burnaby and was managing an apartment building and working at the switchboard at St. Paul's Hospital. I remember being really sad that she had moved away and couldn't be there for my graduation. The card was a graduation card to me that said, "To the happy graduate." She wrote, "I don't have much to say. I just left 2 days ago. Get lots of pictures, so I have a couple. Write me a letter and tell me how everything went. See you on the 14th of June, signed Kath." Well, Kath, it's now 2023, and you found your way back home. 44 years have passed since my graduation day when you wrote me that card, and I'm just catching up responding to that letter now, telling you how things went. So here goes. Dear Kath, how are you? I am fine. It's funny how we both always say we're feeling fine, even if we are broken. I just wanted to drop you a line to let you know that everything went fine. And I wanted to say thank you for the lovely graduation card, and to thank you for being my sister. Life sped along the fast highway here for as long as I can remember. You have not only been my go-to person, but my biggest role model alongside Mom and Dad. Even though the plan one. Even though I never wanted to admit it when I was younger, my goal in life has always been to grow up to be just like you. I mean, come on, who wouldn't want to be as strong, successful, and magnificent as you are? You are the unique and perfectly imperfect Big Bird. If I was to sum up your legacy in a few words, it would have to be that everybody was your friend, and you were a friend to everybody. From an early age, we all knew you were headstrong and determined. As a close friend said, "Never had I met anyone so willing to accept such a wide range of people. I have seen her talk to a homeless man on the bus, telling him he really needed a shower without insulting him. And was equally at ease telling the president of a company to just lighten up. You were the welcome wagon in the neighborhood, hanging out the bathroom window to chat with new neighbors. You were so willing to accept such a wide range of people into your life. Your smile is so like Mom's, Kathy, and that shines through in your daughters, Christy and Kayley. Life kind of threw us a curveball with our health challenges, and I'd be remiss in not talking about your illness. What you taught me through your illness was to forge our strength in the struggles and always find a way to rise above the pain, the heartache, and the difficulty. Keep a positive mindset and don't complain. Man, we sure had a lot of fun adventures on our travels with you, and we met so many people around the world that you connected with. Remember the lady from France with the lavender farm? I still have her address in my wallet. Everyone loved you and were drawn to you with your friendliness and smiles and couldn't wait to see you again. You always lightened up the load to those around you who were also struggling. All the doctors, nurses, lab people became lifelong friends, and you kept them all laughing, and they are always your biggest fan. You are forever imprinted in their thoughts. I want to thank you for sharing your life with me and tolerating me from an early age, pastoring you when we shared the same bedrooms. I know you didn't always like me stealing your clothes and wearing them to school, but you always had the most stylish clothing and matching earrings, and matching watches, matching makeup, and matching nail polish. Although later on, your shopping channel addiction kind of got you in a bit too much trouble with too much stuff. My favorite memory was when you had a Volkswagen that you named Baby Gunther. You didn't drive, and you threw me the keys one day and said, "Here, use it. Drive me around." I had the best time hitting every snowbank in Port Alberni and four-wheeling it up our favorite mountain, Mount Aerosmith, after I dropped you off at work. That thing was lit the ever-ready battery, and thank you for trusting me with your baby. From a young age, you always hated sports, participating in sports. Despite your great genes and athletic physique, and your teacher's best efforts encouraging you to try. But you were the biggest fan of the game, always showing up to a ball tournament to watch us and your nieces and nephews when you could. Life was always a social party. However, you did like the sport of fishing and excelled at it. A favorite memory of Dad's is when you were 12 years old and hadn't ever caught a salmon yet. You left a note for him on the kitchen table that said, "Dad, could I go fishing in the morning? If I say no, just get me up anyways." So he did. And you went out that day and you caught your first salmon, a 38-pounder. Who does that? You set the bar high for the rest of us kids to achieve. Those were fun times fishing in the canal and staying in a shack with 14 others at Headquarters Bay. You were tasked to look after all of us kids, and you were always looking after us kids. Life there was another party, and the adults all took turns taking you out fishing. You were influenced by a lot of fun people who like to have fun, who care for you deeply. Remember the Ultimate Fishing Town contest you helped me with? We all did that. I'm heading the Tyee Club in the Salmon Fest now, and a couple years ago, a shirt was designed as a community fundraiser. The image with the salmon fin lifting up the spirit of Mount Arrowsmith was inspired by you and your journey home, and the mountains we kept climbing together. Okay, go ahead. Fun. You taught me how to dance, and Ron promised to help keep me dancing. The art of the dance, as I call it in the hospitality industry, is where you excelled in. You were one of the best servers that Port Alberni ever had, Kathy. We had some fun times working together over the years. Always wanted to come out from behind the bar when a favorite song came on and get the crowd going with a high kick. Sometimes you might grab Ron or I and close down the bar to your favorite song, Lady in Red. I'm glad we shared the final dance around Christmas time at Ty Watson. But I know you will be there dancing with me when another favorite song comes on, because you just always show up whenever I need you. We had some fun trips together going to concerts. Remember the Bee Gees? Or how about when you stopped by the restaurant we owned and told me you finally got Spice Girl tickets to take our girls to? Problem was, it was in Vegas, you said. It wasn't a problem at all, Kathy. It was so much fun. I'll miss you inconspicuously pulling on my hair to split my ends. I'll miss you walking in my house and telling me I need to dust the top of my refrigerator because you were tall and could see it. Same with all the cobwebs. Carolyn, you got cobwebs in the corners. We'll miss your famous wafer cake at birthday parties, and I'm glad you had the opportunity to teach me how to make that at Ty Watson House. I'll miss talking to you on the phone to you for hours, and glad we weren't much into texting each other. We'll miss you around the pit's backyard fires. We'll miss you at the annual Andrews Family Christmas Sing-Song, belting out the 12 days of Christmas. Oh, one more thing before I let you go, because I am on timeline here. Kathy, remember when we were living together at the Blue House on 5th, and I came home from work one night and found that Charles Manson-looking guy with long hair sleeping on the couch? Remember when I ran down the hall and I woke you up to tell you to get that thing out of the house? Remember you said, "Oh, Carolyn, that's just Lyle." He became your husband, and he really loved you, and you shared an amazing life together with your two headstrong girls. They too are fine. In closing, I will always be your monkey, and you my owl. Your two Brendas and your Dodie, sisters from another mother, will always love you. Your brother, nieces, and nephew, cousins, aunts, and uncles, in-laws, friends, and the world you touch send their love. We are all fine. You truly were one of a kind, and you were relevant, and you made a difference in so many people's lives. Your parents have never been so proud as the day you were born. We won't wait until the day is perfect to look up and see the sunrise or the sunset. The tears we cried today are watering the seeds we're planting for tomorrow. We'll see you later at Shauna and Dylan's wedding in the summer. Final words to you from our dad, who loved his firstborn dearly, and no, this isn't a goodbye. Spread your wings, my wonderful big bird, and fly with the angels. Hold down the fort till we get there. Cheers, Kathy. Love, Carolyn. And Ron.
Next, I would like to invite another childhood friend of Kathy's, Brenda Barkley.
Good afternoon. Thank you all, each and every one of you, for coming today to celebrate Kathy's life. My name is Brenda Barkley, and Kathy was the first and best friend I've ever had. I had recently moved into her neighborhood, and I was out in the yard raking leaves when Kathy walked by. She was like 4, and she was all alone, and she saw me, and she stopped to talk, and she asked me my name, and if I wanted to play sometime. I was so grateful that she took the time to stop and talk to me, because I was a shy little kid, and I wouldn't have been the one to speak first, but she did. And I am so thankful that she did, because that started our friendship that lasted 60 years. Kathy was always making new friends throughout her life. Some were even boyfriends. Kathy was loved by so many. She was kind and genuine, and it showed in her smile, her beautiful smile. We had lots of nicknames for Kathy. I think you went over them, but my favorite was Big Bird. That suited her best, because Big Bird was joyful and fun. Kathy loved music, and she learned to play the piano, and she loved that piano tune by Frank Mills, Music Box Dancer. It's a beautiful song. Kathy taught me to love and appreciate music. She'd get me to do this. She'd get me to lay on the floor in the dark, close my eyes, and listen to the music. She would say, listen to the different instruments, listen to the lyrics. She wanted me to feel the music like she did. Kathy was a hard worker. We went over all her jobs that she had. I loved it when she worked at the Beaufort, because I would go there and she made me the best glue and cream. Really good glue. Yeah, that was great. Kathy loved her work. She just loved to see the people, talk to the people every day. It wasn't work to her, it was fun. I remember this one hot summer day. Kathy, of course, had worked Saturday night, late. You know, she worked until 2 in the morning all the time, really late. But she had this idea. She said, tomorrow's Sunday, I finally got the day off. Let's go canoeing on Great Central Lake. So I said, okay, we'll take the canoe to Great Central Lake. So my sister Bev and Kathy and I, we took the canoe to the lake, and Bev and I paddled. Kathy slept. All day. She got a pretty good sunburn, but she said later she had the best day ever. Kathy, in 1978, we learned that Kathy moved to Vancouver, and about that time I had moved to Penticton. And even though we lived hundreds of miles apart, we still remained good friends, close friends. I loved to visit her in Vancouver. We had some great times in the big city. And there's one time I was there for Thanksgiving, and it was really funny. In the morning, we were going to prepare the turkey, and it was still really frozen. So Kathy and I lounged on the patio in the sun with the turkey between us until it thawed enough to get the stuffing inside. Probably not the right way to thaw a turkey. But it turned out excellent, and Kathy was a really good cook. Kathy eventually returned to Port Alberni. She loved it here. It was where her family was and where she wanted to be. She missed them. In 1986, when Kathy and Lyle were married, I was so proud to stand beside her as her maid of honor. And a few years later, they welcomed their babies, Kayley and Christy, whom I love very much. Kathy and I were friends for 60 years. I have so many memories I will cherish forever. Kathy, you were such a special friend. I miss you every day. I would like to read a poem for you, my friend. God saw you getting tired when a cure was not to be, so he wrapped his arms around you and whispered, "Come to me." You didn't deserve what you went through, so he gave you rest. God's garden must be beautiful, he only takes the best. And when I saw you sleeping, so peaceful and free from pain, I could not wish you back to suffer that again. Thank you, Kathy.
So next I have a little thing from Lyle that he's asked me to share today. I'm glad I've read it a few times because the first time I read it I was a little bit, when your eyes start to get a little sweaty and things. Only because of your care and caring, we had one more birthday, one more anniversary, one more Christmas, and brought in one more New Year. Because of all of you, we had time. I was supposed to pause there. I gotta start again. We had time. Kelly, Dodie, Bud, June, Kayley, Christy, Caroline, Lynn, Ron, Pauline, Lynn, the Brendas. Without you, we would have had nothing. Thank you to Dr. Grant, Dr. O'Dwyer, Dr. Woodley, Dr. Lambuet, I don't know if that's correct, but I just put my own spin on it, West Coast General Hospital staff and nurses, and the Ty Watson House staff. I'd also like to thank the C group of companies for their understanding, flexibility, and generosity. My coworkers for, again, I was allowed to say this, covering my ass during my accidents. And of course, thank you all for whatever part you played in the making of the one and only Kathy that we all grew to love. Out of sight, touch, and feel, never out of our thoughts and hearts. Love the Pitts, Petersons, and Jaspin families. I also have something I have to read from Kayley. And when I say have to, it's because I made her write it. Well, you made me do it because you wouldn't come up here, so now I do have to do this. So, we've sadly lost a Port Alberni legacy. Kathy, also known as Big Bird. Mom could light up a room as soon as she walked in it. She could make a sad time turn into a happy time with her contagious laugh and smile. I just can't really write over 31 years into a small speech, so I'll just have to do some highlights of her. I remember the days when the water bombers used to fly over, and as soon as she heard it, she would run outside and wave because they thought that she could see, like they could see her. They couldn't. The endless road trips, we could go watch hockey games and support her boys she never had, floating in the pool, wondering what the poor people were doing. Trips all over the world that gave me countless memories with you and our family has given me the travel bug to always go to new places. A quick trip to the store with Kathy always turned into a whole day event, knowing every single person we passed and had to talk to. You were just too kind not to say hi to them and ask how they were doing. These are just some of my favorite memories that stuck out to me, or else we'd be here forever. And then, personally, I don't want to keep you here all day, but neither does Kayley. Not only do I, but everyone I know had and has so much love and respect for you and your kind heart. I have never heard a bad thing about you other than them being barred from the Arlie. I actually had a personal one of those. My dad also has been barred by Kathy. He told me that, this is a sidebar, he told me that he wasn't allowed to have hard liquor until Kathy was off shift. That was a rule that Kathy made. Thankfully, he's sober now, so we don't have to worry about that. These are just some of my favorite memories that stuck out to me. We already said that. Sorry about that. You left a mark in everyone's hearts, and I could sit here forever, hearing all the stories. Whenever I miss you, I find myself heading to your favorite spot, at Canal Beach, listening to music, or looking up at that beautiful Aerosmith that definitely shone itself today, if anybody's seen it. Both those places make me feel close to you and brings a smile to my face, remembering all the happy times with you. Thank you for being the best mom a girl could ask for and raising two amazing daughters. Christy and I are so lucky to have you as our mom. I hope I can be the strong woman you have proven to be over the years. I'll make you proud, Mom. It's not goodbye, it's see you again. Love you, mean it. Those were from Kayley, and Christy is gonna come up and say hers.
Hi everybody, I'm Christy, the youngest. If everybody doesn't know me. From our family's hearts to all of you gathering with us today, I would like to thank everyone for coming to celebrate the lovely life our mom lived. Mom is no longer with us because heaven needed the greatest angel. She fought the biggest fight all of my loving life. Mom will always be thought of in an amazing way. I will never forget dancing in the kitchen or living room on top of Mom's feet when I was a little girl, just like she did with her father growing up. Every time I walk out of the house now, I still hear Mom say, "Christy, where's your lipstick? It's 12 degrees out. Where's your scarf?" Whenever I look at her purse or earring collection, I think, holy crap, what are we gonna do with this all? But of course, not wanting to get rid of it because it was part of her special things, almost as much as lipstick and coffee. Everyone will miss Mom's laugh, smiling eyes, and her huge heart. A warm, cozy kitchen with the scent of coffee brewing on a blustery day was her favorite. Those days will never be the same without her in it. You can rest easy now, Mama. Remember, we love you forever. Thank you.
So next we have Lori and Desiree with a special message for Kathy from some special people.
Well, Des and I are honored to have been asked to speak about Kathy today. When we say it takes a village, it truly does. Kathy I'm too short. Kathy along with Lyle are a large part of the village when raising children. 2 beautiful daughters. We are sure a lot of friends, Megan, and the Bulldog family, mentoring boys. We all know what giving and forgiving person Kathy was. She was funny, sassy, quick-witted, which we sure she needed to be to keep a step ahead of Lyle. Kathy lit up a room with her smile, sense of humor, and presence. Kathy loved her hockey and rarely missed a game. We know she will be there on the weekends in spirit and watching her favorite team. Spending time with Kathy over the years at functions, hockey games, down at the Harbor Key for coffee was forever memorable. No matter what Kathy had going on in her life, she was always smiling and positive. She always showed true strength and determination, which is a lesson we can all learn from. For this, we're thankful for our players, families, and all of us, family and friends. Today, we will show you some of the impact Kathy had on the boys that came to live in the home of the Pitts family. Kathy and Lyle welcomed these boys into their home like they have lived there for a lifetime. We were all blessed to have such an amazing lady in our lives, who we love and respect. We will be forever grateful in our lives, Richard, for knowing you. And goodbye is never goodbye, it's see you later. Des and I thought we could showcase to you just how much of an impact Kathy had on everyone. We have some audio of former billets, and Kathy and Lyle wanted to say a few words to family and friends.
And she broke, so I'm screwed.
As we all know after listening to the kind words and stories these boys had to say, Kathy will be greatly missed. She impacted each and every one in so many ways and gave them memories that will last forever. Kathy's endless selflessness over the years will never be forgotten, but rather cherished by each and every one that had the privilege to live with her. I too have so many memories with Kathy, from seeing her at the rink every week, billet dinners, and going on road trips with her and Kayley. Those were some really fun road trips. I can remember we would go out of town to Chilliwack to watch the showcase, or we'd go down island to watch games. We were guaranteed to have sore cheeks by the end of the trip, just from laughing so hard. Kathy was always a good time and down for whatever silly things Kayley and I had planned. In the last couple months before Kathy's passing, I had the privilege of visiting her at Ty Watson House. There was this one particular day, December 28th, I'll remember. I'll remember forever. Kayley and I went to visit Kathy, and to our surprise, she was in the best mood. She was full of super quirky comments that day, like, so quirky I could never repeat them here. We were telling her she looked so good that day, and she replied with, "Oh silly, I haven't even got ready today," and it was 3 p.m. She then proceeded to tell us that she wanted to put on some lipstick. Of course, I am not kidding you. Here we are standing. I'm on one side of the bed, holding the phone so she could check out her lips in the camera. Kayley's standing on the other side with 20 lipsticks. About 2 minutes later, Kayley then says, "Hey Mom, I think that's enough." Kathy looked at her, gave her the look, and said, "No, I'm not done." She applied 20 more coats, and then she also applied gloss over that. Needless to say, she was looking top-notch that day for our visit. Kathy was having such a good time, she didn't want us to leave, and that was after being there for 2.5 hours. Sadly, neither Kayley nor I wanted to leave either. In the midst of everything, there was a moment where I was sitting in the corner on the chair, looking over at Kathy laying in her bed, and Kayley
sitting right beside her, leaning on the rail. It was then I thought to myself, wow, here is Kathy in what could be her last days, with a smile from ear to ear, a sense of humor to keep us laughing, and a presence to light up a room. If that doesn't show what kind of person Kathy was, I don't know what will. Even on her toughest days, she was still such an inspiration to me. Then there's my friend Kayley. Who visited her mom every day and sat at her bedside, enjoying every moment with her mom like it might be her last. My heart just broke in a million pieces that day, seeing all the love between Kayley and her mom, but at the same time seeing the sadness of having to say goodbye soon. I will forever remember that day, that visit, and all the memories that we shared along the way. To Lyle, Kayley, Christy, and the rest of the family, may you find peace in this difficult time and know that you're not alone. And to Kathy, rest easy, doll. We love you.